Hi, welcome back to our conversation on hand grinder safety. In previous videos, we have talked about what are the things that we can do with a hand grinder. And we've talked about also what is the personal protective equipment that you need to wear and some of the things that can go wrong when using a hand grinder. In this video, we're going to help you understand how to select the right grinding wheel, what they're for, what kinds of metals you can use them on, and in upcoming videos, we're going to talk about how to install them. So what we have here is the most common wheel. That's a grinder wheel. It's a hard, abrasive wheel, and it's quite thick when you look at it. When you look at the label, it says right on it, steel. This can only be used for steel. It talks about the size, which matches the grinders we have. We're using 5-inch grinders, so we use 5-inch wheels. And it should also somewhere have it on max RPM. This says it's a max 12,300 RPM. If you spin this wheel any faster, you actually run the risk of having it spin so fast that it breaks and explodes, sending shrapnel everywhere. It's very dangerous. So we have to make sure that the grinder that we're using does not go above 12,300. Now in this shop, these things are already matched up and these considerations have been made, but if you're doing this at home or for somebody at work, then you need to take a look and make sure. Now take a look at this and it says that the RPM on this is 10,000 RPM. And that is underneath the 12,300 maximum, so this would be safe to put on here. That's something you have to look at when you're out in the field. And when you're in this shop, we've already taken a look at that for you. Also, we have, and again, I'll reiterate that this is for steel only. If you were to use this on aluminum, the aluminum or even brass or any non-steel metals, any soft metals, they will melt into this. And if they melt into this, then when you go back to cutting on steel, you run the risk of having a chemical reaction that will cause this to explode, sending shrapnel everywhere. And you could also run the risk of those soft metals acting like a wedge, and they will wedge and get pushed deeper and deeper into the wheel, and they will eventually cause this wheel to break and crack, and it will shatter, and again, you'll have shrapnel everywhere. So you only use this for steel, not on anything else. If you want to shape or sand or grind some soft metals like aluminum or brass, then you would use a sandpaper flapper. Okay, this sandpaper flapper here has a bunch of sandpaper that has been glued onto this disc. When I take a look at what this thing says on it, RPM is 13,200 max, which again is safe to use on our machine. This is a 4.5-inch wheel, so it is a 1/2 inch smaller in total size than the 5. It is safer for us to put something on smaller. It's just a little awkward to use. It doesn't last as long either, but it's not dangerous. It is dangerous to put something on too big on there because you'd have to actually remove this guard to put, say, a 6-inch wheel on there, and that's not safe. So we can go smaller, we can't go bigger than the 5 inches that is designed for. Last one that I have in my hand is a cutoff wheel, very thin. Okay, and this is designed for cutting off pieces of metal, and this says metal here, doesn't say specifically steel. So you could use this cutoff wheel on softer metals. However, we do not mix stuff that we use for cutting steel and soft metals for the reason of causing explosions. So I'm going to say that we are not allowed to use these for anything other than steel in this shop. And a student does not have permission to use a cutoff wheel without direct supervision of a teacher, because these are the most dangerous wheels that we have. They break and shatter quite easily, and kids can get hurt. So this is, you would have to ask direct permission and have direct supervision to use a cutoff wheel in here. Okay, those are the 3 wheels that we have. And in our next video, we're going to talk about how we install these properly.